This week on Jersey Matters, we talk with one of New Jersey's best-known meteorologists about Hurricanes Harvey and Irma. A popular TV channel gives the gift of music to Newark Public Schools. And the Sistine Chapel in New Jersey? In a moment, we'll go back into studio to interview libertarian candidate for governor, Peter Rohrman. But first, a few words. The Democrat and Republican parties don't agree on much, but they do get together to do everything to make certain that third-party candidates don't threaten their hold on power. In this state, the New Jersey Law Enforcement Election Commission oversees the elections. They decide who gets on the ballots, who gets in the debates, who gets money, etc. All of the members of the commission are former Republican or Democrat officials. Don't you think it'd be nice to have representation from a third party or at least an independent, especially since over 40% of New Jersey's registered voters are not affiliated with the Democratic or Republican parties. And still the rules are set up, so it makes it difficult for third party or independent candidates to qualify for matching funds, so they don't get in the debates, and they're not included in the polls. 57% of Americans believe that a strong third party is necessary in this country, but third parties will never have a chance as long as the Democrats, the Republicans, and the media team up to make certain that we never hear about them. And with that in mind, we present our interview with libertarian candidate for governor, Peter Rohrman. Peter Rohrman is the libertarian candidate for governor. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. As we do with every candidate, I ask you just to introduce yourself to the voters. Tell us about yourself.
First of all, Larry, thank you very much for having me on the show. My name is Peter Rohrman. I'm the libertarian candidate for governor of New Jersey. I've spent a lifetime in New Jersey. I spent some time, or outside of the time I was spending in the Marine Corps. I spent 8 years as an enlisted Marine. I've done some other volunteer service working as a volunteer firefighter. I've also spent plenty of my time the past 20 years as a volunteer football, wrestling, and baseball coach throughout towns in northern New Jersey. And back in like the 90s or so, I spent about 4 or 5 years working with the youth of Newark, taking some outreach programs, doing some educational programs in the Newark school districts at no cost to those schools.
No political experience?
Other than running the past 2 years, I ran for Bergen Freeholder in 2015. I ran for Bergen Freeholder in 2016, doubled my vote count from one year to the next. That is the extent of my actual political career. I've never run for us before that.
What is a libertarian?
Libertarians can be summed up as people that they don't want to do any harm to you and they don't want to take your stuff. It's very simple. We are all about economic freedom, free markets, peace, tolerance, and personal responsibility. Everyone out there can find some part of the libertarian platform that they agree with. Everyone out there is libertarian. They just don't know it yet.
And I'll get to what that means to New Jersey in 1 minute, but I want to talk about just third-party candidates. And libertarian is one of the most popular third-party platforms in the country, and yet they can't win office. And so people that run as libertarians sometimes have this Don Quixote-like campaign where they're running because they believe in something, but the odds are stacked against them. And that seems to be on purpose. It seems like the two major political parties put up so many obstacles that you really aren't able to get any traction. Is that
in New Jersey, it is extremely difficult to gain traction. We have candidates that are voted in other parts of the country. But New Jersey is extremely difficult, especially, let's look at our governor's race here. The governor's race, to get into the debates, and you really need to be in that debate to make impact on the voters. Now, Democrats, Republicans, they have direct control over NJ-elect. NJ-elect, we can't fault them. They don't make the laws. The laws are made by Democrats and Republicans. And every year, they keep upping the ante of what it costs to get into these debates. Now, the last person that I remember that was a third-party person to ever get into the New Jersey debates was a man named Murray Sabrin. He ran in 1997 as a libertarian candidate. Shortly after he made it in there, well, Democrats, Republicans went in and they changed the laws and increased the amount to where it is today. Right now, for a third-party candidate to get into these debates, you need to raise $430,000 and have a plan to spend it all. That's almost impossible for a third-party candidate these days.
So your contention is, like, if you were to get 430, they just keep raising the bar. They would raise the bar again,
probably,
conceivably, because they just don't want someone else on that stage.
Probably.
And how about getting on the ballot in the first place? Is that also difficult?
I have to say this, New Jersey is probably one of the easiest states in the union to get on the ballot. You only need to get on 800 signatures, and you should always double that account just in case you get contested, but it's only 800 signatures in New Jersey to get on the ballot statewide.
The statewide commission that oversees the elections, any libertarians on that commission?
As far as I know, no. I would note that there's none of them on there.
It's all Republicans and Democrats.
All Republicans and
Does that seem fair?
Not at all. But if you look at it, let's look at the number of registered voters. Okay? The Democrats, Republicans, they do have a large number of registered voters. We are still the third largest party in the state of New Jersey, but we're still low on numbers. With my candidacy, we're hoping to pump up the numbers. So if you're out there, if people are interested in learning and registering for the Libertarian Party, be my guest.
And I promise I'm going to get to the issues in a second and how the Libertarian Party plays in New Jersey. But I want to stay on this for just 1 second, because on your point about registered voters, Democrats and Republicans, you could argue, are both minority parties because there are more independents than either Democrats or Republicans. And those independents conceivably, although I don't think it's the truth, conceivably are looking for a party to vote for.
Right. We are the home for the people that are politically homeless. And you're right, there are more people that are registered as independents. And those people, believe it or not, those people are libertarian and they just don't know it. My job as a candidate, part of my job is to run a message campaign to inform people what the Libertarian Party is all about and give them a place to come home to. Yeah,
but it's kind of, you said it's a message-based campaign, although it's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy that you can't get that message out. Let me take that back. It's a major party fulfilling prophecy that you can't get that message out. For instance, how much money have you raised?
We're not going to release how much money we've raised.
So it can't be good then?
That's a good answer, yeah.
That's true, right? I mean,
yes,
but
you're right.
There's nothing to be embarrassed about with that. I
really wish that we could have raised more money, because I'm telling you, if I raised $430,000, I'm telling you, I would definitely win this race. Right now, I'm behind, way behind in the polls. Well, if you talk to Patrick Murray, see if he actually puts me in the polls. We're way behind in the polls, but I can win this thing. I am the only candidate that's putting up real issues and real solutions to people and the other candidates, they're giving you lip service, giving you the same thing you've heard year after year, decade after decade, century after century.
What is the deadline that you have to raise the $430,000?
It was last week. It was last
So
Friday.
You're off. You're not going to get on the debate stage. So you're saying...
On a good point, yeah.
So you can't win.
I'm not saying I can't win.
You just said you would win if you got on the debate stage. You're not getting on the debate stage, so you can't win.
That's a good point. All right. Now, I'm not going to say I can't win, but it's very difficult. You're right. Let's not mix words here. I made the mistake of saying I can't win. No. It's not that I can't win. I can still win this thing. I'm still in this race, and I'm still out there every single weekend. Every night I'm up till 2 a.m. writing, talking with people, running a campaign into the ground, putting myself into the ground. I'm up till 2 or 3 a.m. every single night. And yes, we can still win this. But yeah, and I agree with you, we are behind. We are way behind Murphy, way behind Guadagno, and getting to the point where he says getting into the debate stage.
You know, I would love to see you at the debate stage. I'd love to see third-party candidates. I believe in giving choice to the voters, so it's a shame that you're not on. But one of the things I chastise the media about is not getting to the issues enough, and we haven't gotten to one issue
I'm sorry,
yet.
you're right.
So we'll come back and talk more with Peter Rohrman, Libertarian candidate for governor, when Jersey Matters continues.